We don't use the shower that came with our boat, and we've always found it a good choice. No, it's not that we never shower. No, sorry, we are clean. Hi, I'm Carolyn Sherlock, and on this episode of the Boat Valley Podcast, I'll tell you about the advantages of using a solar shower and how to buy the best one. Today's episode of the Boat Galley Podcast is sponsored by Mantis Marine, maker of the Mantis Anchor, now available in models with and without a roll bar. Proven to set reliably in the most challenging bottoms, the Mantis Anchor digs in like no other, making anchoring safer and boating more enjoyable. Mantis Marine brings to market practical, durable, and affordable marine products, including anchoring gear, scuba diving accessories, and a rechargeable waterproof headlamp for hands-free lighting. We love all their stuff. Visit mantismarine.com and see for yourself. Dave and I have literally never showered below decks on either of the two cruising boats we've owned. Basically, it's for three reasons. First, without a separate shower stall, water would get all over everything in the head. It's a pain to move it all. Second is that we just don't need any more humidity below deck. And third is that the showers on both of our boats did nothing to conserve water. Instead, we've used various brands of solar showers. Basically, we've bought them on Amazon because local stores haven't carried them. To be honest, our first one had been left by the prior owner of the first boat, and we figured we'd never use it. Until we discovered that the boat didn't have a hot water heater. Somehow that had slipped by us in reading the specs. We were frankly surprised at how well it worked and how little water we used with it. And so we used a solar shower the whole time we owned that boat. And we bought another one with the first batch of things for Barefoot Gal. We've got about 14 years of using one now, and we've learned a few tricks. First, the water can get hot enough to scald you in the tropics. Always check the water temperature with your hand, or if the bag has a thermometer, check it. If it feels too hot to your hand, or the temperature shows it's over 110, I actually prefer it about 105, put a towel over the bag or put it in the shade to cool a bit, and then check again. The water won't stay hot very long after sunset, though, so timing is everything in figuring out when you're getting your shower. Now close nearby hatches before showering, particularly open ports just below where you shower. Want to guess how I know how easy it is to miss these? If you're going to shower on deck and don't want to be seen naked, hang on to an old stretched out swimsuit. It's now your bathing suit, literally. A stretched out suit is easy to wash your body underneath, so you don't need to rig a privacy curtain. We learned that even when we think we're the only people for miles around, a boat will suddenly come into the anchorage just as we soap up our hair. If you're sailing, watch where the bag is lying in relation to where sheets and rigging will go, not just on the current tack, but after a tack or jibe, and also as the sails come down. Lines chafe holes in these bags very quickly. We also learned to clip the bag to the boat underway. After we lost one, of course. A 4 or 5 gallon bag works well for two people to both have nice showers. Maybe not luxurious, but both with hair washed and conditioned and so forth, as long as you turn the water off while you soap up. Actually, we both get a shower and have water left over with a 4 gallon bag. With everyday use, bags will typically last 6 to 9 months in the tropical sun. Don't expect them to last forever, and you may have to make a few field repairs on it towards the end of its life. If this is your only hot shower, keep a spare on hand. Now, a bag with a screw cap for the fill port is much easier to use and less likely to leak than ones with those pressed-to-close fittings. They're generally a little more expensive, too, but if you're using it every day, it's well worth it. Now, we've had bags with both screw nozzles and push-pull ones. They work equally well. It's just a matter of personal preference. Lay the bag down to heat the water and only hang the bag when showering. If it's lying on non-skid, put a towel under it, as the non-skid can chafe a hole in it in a surprisingly short amount of time. Now, if you have a hard bimini, you can probably lay the bag on the bimini to shower and run the hose into the cockpit. That's what we do on Barefoot Gal. And on a sailboat, you can use a halyard to hoist the bag in the air. We just used a carabiner from a bag strap to a side stay to keep the bag from swinging in the air on our previous boat. Keeping it from swinging is really important, as what appears to be dead flat anchorages usually aren't, and that heavy bag swinging around your head can be unnerving, not to mention potentially dangerous. If the hose for the nozzle is too long, you can cut it and reattach the nozzle. You'll be happier if you can stand to shower instead of having to sit or kneel. Should you need a longer hose, you can buy clear tubing at almost any hardware or home improvement store that's the same diameter and just swap it out. We've used a number of different brands of bags, and it usually doesn't pay to buy the cheapest one. Since specs continually change, we go by the feature a bag has rather than just by brand. We look for the thickest and toughest material, a large fill port with a screw cap, a strong attachment for the hanging handle. A bar that spreads the stress out over the whole top is much better than a single point. That's been one of our biggest failures, is that single point ripping a hole in the bag. And a strong handle. That bag is pretty heavy when it's full and hanging. 4 gallons is 32 pounds of water. You'll see some links in the show notes for our current favorite bag. Amazon sells a lot of them, and time to time they change which ones are our favorites. Anyways, take care, enjoy your shower. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Boat Galley podcast. And please, if you haven't done so already, subscribe in your favorite podcast app.